Hey girl, welcome to the Black Girl Voices podcast. I'm Shivaun,
And I'm Whitney.
and every week we get together to laugh, cry, shade, and share everything from pop culture to racism.
So grab your headphones and your oversized mug and come and join the conversation. Welcome back to the Black Girl Voices podcast. I'm your host, Whitney Elise, and joining me is the illustrious, the founder, the foundation, the radiant,
Yes.
the incomparable.
Yes.
Shivaun, how are you?
I'm flipping my hair in the wind that will only be blown out for another day, so we're going to enjoy it.
Listen, if I flip this fro, we're all going with it.
It's only going to be cleared out for one more day, and then it's going to be matted. So we're going to...
How are you?
I'm good. I am good. So we've got some illnesses in the house, okay? We had a stomach virus, and then I don't know what Clifton has. I'm sure it's just something going around. But I'm still good. Like, it's chaos, but like that's mom life.
Mom life.
But I feel like, very oddly enough, that for the first time in a long time, I have started to establish some boundaries.
Amen.
Like, I feel like I'm actually doing it. Mm-hmm. Like for a long time, we're like, we need boundaries. But then setting boundaries is so
difficult.
It's difficult, but I deserve to set boundaries.
And do.
Mm-hmm. So I am like coming to terms with being very... But again, I think this is the white supremacy that's been ingrained with us. Like, I would feel mean, like, sticking to my boundaries or, like, not putting up with the foolishness. Like, you ask me a dumb question, and instead of me just being like, ask your mama, I would be like, well, let me explain it to you. And no, I feel like
in a tone that you can appreciate.
Yes, so that I'm not an angry Black woman. Well, fucking call me angry.
You can call me angry. There's a lot to be angry about. Like Solange said, I got a lot to be mad about.
Call me whatever you want. And we've got this beautiful background because I was just telling Whitney that this room doubles as a playroom. And I think if you're a mom, that's all that needed to be said.
All that needed to be said.
How are you?
I am literally in a corner in my room. I would probably have a background too. I'm good. I'm in a weird space, but I figured this would be a great place to talk about this.
Yes.
So I got married in September of 2019. Okay. And then COVID hit, so we didn't get a chance to do our honeymoon. We didn't get a chance to do all the things, whatever. And then I got knocked up. So because married people stuck in the house doing what married people do. Our beautiful daughter. So
procreating.
Yes, making wonderful humans for the planet. But that being said, I haven't purged my closet in almost 4 years. Not since I got married. And I used to have a little narrow closet, so I had to purge to make space, make room. But we moved into this. I love the place where we live. I really, really do. But the closets were exceptionally bigger. And he has his own closet, and I have my own closet. Okay. And I know everybody's rolling their eyes like, yeah, everybody has that. No, poverty.
Especially if you, and also if you live in the city, okay? Because
oh my gosh, wait,
my closet.
Those ancient like row houses with their tiny closets. It's like, what were these people wearing with the ball gowns? How they fit the ball gowns in there?
I think that to myself. And the hats, like, where were y'all putting all of the hats? We know hats were a thing.
Those hats. Side note, I have an interesting historical fact. Ooh. There was a law that was created to prohibit women from wearing those pins in our hats, the sharp pins. Because what would happen was a man would get a little too handsy and they would take their pins out and poke him in self-defense. And so the men decided to make a law against it.
Bring back stabbing pins, please, in 2024. I'm here for the violence.
Stabbing pins.
I'm here for the violence.
We don't wear the hats, though. Where would we put them in our sweaters?
Honestly, walking around DC, you got to keep some on you anyway.
Got to keep some on you anyway. Listen, Philly,
just not discreet.
I understand. So,
yes, you're in Philly. So,
all my life I had to fight.
Nor would they say, what do they call Jill Scott? Jilly from Philly.
Jilly from Philly. Mm-hmm.
Jilly from...
At the tippy top of this year, it felt like I need to molt. I need
Mm.
to shed. I need
Okay.
to eliminate everything that either no longer serves me, doesn't fit, doesn't suit me. I bought some things in aspiration of something that I no longer want to achieve or what no longer I identify with. And I'm not trying to make this into a spiritual situation, but I had a spiritual moment doing it. So for the last few weeks, I've just been going through drawer after drawer,
Mhm.
closet after closet, shelf after shelf, and it's expanding from not just my clothes, but like, like all of my stuff. And I'm like, why do I have all this stuff? And what was I trying to bury myself beneath? And why haven't I done this in 4 years? And now I've moved on to my daughter's room. So
Oh my gosh.
so
That's
it's like,
emotional though, because you
it
start packing those
is
little baby clothes and you're looking at
the tiny
the
socks
little
do it.
socks and the little and you like oh my gosh.
Yes.
I like then you start
Yes.
going through like, do I want more kids? Am I done?
Yes.
If you are done, then you have this like, oh my gosh, I'll never
This is
have a
the last.
baby again.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is all those last feelings. Like, and that's something that we don't talk about in motherhood. Like we always talk about the first, like the first time they walk. I
No,
wanted
the
to write about
last.
this and I pitched this to 10 different guys, this is just me being a little transparent. I pitched this to 10 different publications. Everybody was like, nah, we'll pass. But I'm like, women need to talk
The
about
last
this.
moments?
The last, we don't talk enough about the last. We don't talk about enough about the guilt that comes with that.
That is a
Like,
moving like topic in general. Like I can't believe someone would pat because when I think about it from
they weren't
like a
interested.
publication standpoint, right? Like you want things that you invoke emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you, every time I think about the last time my son did something, so it was the other day, and I picked up Clifton. I can still pick
Mm-hmm.
him up, right? But
Mm-hmm.
like we don't pick him up often. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
he's 6 now, but
Mm-hmm.
he's like a little 6.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me think about God, I'm gonna try not to get choked up on this. It
I
made me think about the last time I picked up my 13-year-old, and I realized like we don't commemorate those things, so I
we
don't
don't.
remember like the last day, right? Like most
Mm-hmm.
people don't. But I was like, wow, one morning I woke up and I never picked him up again.
You put them down and you never pick them up
Ever.
again. And think about the last time like you hugged him when he was like little and you got down on your knees to hug.
Yeah. Because now he's doing like the little, the side hug. All right, mom. See you later. And I'm like,
You know that hug's going to change again. Like several times that hug's going to change again.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
But it's odd, I think. Well, I think it also depends on your relationship with your parents too, because
That part right there.
my brothers went through those phases, right? Of
Hmm.
like, we kiss mom, we don't kiss mom. I still kiss my mom on the lips to this day. But I never stopped. There was never a point. I kissed her in front of my friends.
Yeah.
I kissed her in high school. I kissed her in
Yeah.
college. I kissed her. But my brothers went through those changes. So I think it's very different to see
It's very
not only the
different.
different genders, but the different, like, just relationships.
Relationships.
Yes.
Right. Because the mom that you are to your oldest is not the mom that you are to your youngest
No,
because you were not the same person.
no,
And so they
you're
don't even have
wiser too. I have
right.
more patience. And sometimes I feel like um I beat myself up about that. And I think a lot of other parents too, because you get the second one or even the third one, whatever, gets a better version of you
Mm.
because I know now that those little things aren't the end of the world. Like
Mm-hmm.
you broke something. Okay. Like it's annoying, clean it up, move on. Like I know
Right.
I understand the mind of a whole
Yeah.
lot more. Well, if you're getting better in parenting, you should be
You
changing
should
your
be.
views. Some of y'all need some healing.
Some of y'all want to
But
fight your kids, and I need y'all to deal with that.
take your kids. And it's okay
Yeah.
not to like them at different stages because I think I have expressed we are at 13.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, oh,
11.
oh.
Don't really like them right now. But there's a different version, like you said. And so I feel like my
Mhm.
youngest gets more patient, more
Mm,
like you realize that there's a last time for this and there's a lot. So you're more
mhm.
intentional.
Yeah,
So he's a more intentional version. And
yeah,
I beat myself up about that sometimes.
yeah. Like we're culling all these collections, and my husband, he wants to try for another one, but I don't necessarily do.
Mm,
And that might be a conversation for the Patreon. It's
yes.
not causing strife. It's not causing strife. It's
No.
not because Our prayer is always that we are aligned.
And y'all are two different human beings.
Thank you. We're allowed to disagree.
I don't know why people don't understand that about marriage.
Woo! Thank you. Because
that's a whole episode.
I keep trying to reiterate that, but yes, that is another episode. Let's write that down. Everybody put that in your notes because we be coming up with episode stuff for you guys.
Matter of fact, little pause moment, that this would be a great time to send in any marital questions, marital advice that you have. Now,
please.
I'm going to preference this by saying neither Whitney or myself, unless Whitney has some qualifications I don't know about. Okay. Our marriage therapists.
We are not.
So we will be giving feedback solely based on experience,
anecdotal,
our opinions, and our beliefs.
Yes.
I'm not telling anybody to leave their marriage unless you're getting knocked over the head, then get out.
Right.
Okay.
Do what you need to do to be safe.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Let's leave that little.
Put that right there, because what y'all not gonna do.
Whitney told me to leave my man.
Because Whitney does regularly tell people, "Girl, leave him." Girl, leave. I do, but that's based upon my opinions and a person who's lived 38, almost 39 years on this rock. So, but yeah,
okay. I feel like we done got deep. But you know, I gotta get it a little light before we get deep.
What's up?
What's your grievance? Look, does the villain rub my hand together like a villain? Patreon, you probably see this, so subscribe to Patreon. But what's your
subscribe to Patreon today? Oh, I don't even know.
I got two.
I'm gonna let you have the floor because mine is really a general one. So please.
Okay. So y'all know by now that this podcast is not for you to listen out loud at work. Okay, so just preference.
Put your headphones on now.
Yes. My first one isn't too shocking. Okay, my first one is at the end of the day, I'm a very inclusive person. I will do my best to use as inclusive language as possible. Now, this is we're not getting into the subject of like pronouns or anything, right? Like we're not digging that hole. I'm talking about when it comes to language like prayer and manifestation. A lot of times when I say things, I'll be like, oh, you guys send a prayer, manifest good things, whatever, because I'm trying to be inclusive and I want to include people who maybe don't believe in God. Okay. But at the end of the day, I am a believer.
Yeah.
So if I say I'm going to pray about something, don't correct me and say, no, manifest about it. You can manifest whatever you want. You don't have to pray. You don't. But
I do.
My help comes from.
Okay, say it again.
It doesn't come from Saturn. Okay. It don't come
universe
from the stars.
For me.
It comes from Jesus Christ. Jesus Devontae Christ. Okay.
Why do Black people keep giving them middle names?
I don't know, but I'm doing that for the rest of my life. We're so unserious, and I love that about us.
He's somewhere on a cloud laughing at us.
My help comes from Jesus Devontae Christ, and if your help doesn't come from that, that is okay.
That's your business.
But baby, don't correct me, because if I say I'm praying. Okay.
Can I say something about this too? Please. It is not inclusive of you to demean someone's personal beliefs. If someone's saying, not you, I'm not talking about you, Shivaun. I'm talking about
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
It's not okay for y'all to be like, no, manifest it, when like that's not inclusive.
I said I'm gonna pray. I didn't say, hey, Whitney, you're a believer too, but if you weren't, I didn't say Whitney, go pray. I said I'm gonna pray. So don't.
That's what I do.
No, you need to manifest.
Like I know that we have like big energy against like Christo-fascism and all that crazy stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like people believe what they believe, and I've believed in Jesus for a very long time, and he has yet to fail me. So, and I'm gonna keep going.
Brought me through some stuff.
I'm not tired yet, as the grandparents would say. So, as the elders would say. So,
yes, too. When people try to come at me with like the whole like, so you believe in an imaginary God? I mean, you believe in imaginary crystals, and I don't say anything about it.
You believe in rock
crystals
on the planet.
I believe in healing, and I think different things can bring healing. And I do believe that our ancestors used different forms of healing that we no longer practice because it was weaponized, and white supremacy told us it was witchcraft. Okay, so I think there's a whole thing there.
Educated about the whole thing, but we've also come to the conclusion about what works for us and what has been working for us. And that's not fair of anyone to try to demean us, because if you have a beef with Christianity, that's your personal beef.
And listen, I got a beef with religion.
With religion, that's different. Yeah,
yes,
that's completely different than
but relationship.
Okay, that part, because that's completely different, and it's not fair. I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. It's not fair of people to, like, someone jumped in my comments the other day when I was talking about my faith, because I made 2 videos of the thousands of videos I made. I made 2 videos over the span of 4 years of making videos about my faith. And someone's like, I thought you were smarter than this. I don't like it when I see smart people come online and then you find out they're a Christian. And I'm like, it doesn't make me dumb to believe what I believe. Like, y'all believe in democracy.
And the problem is, yeah, right. And you see where that's going. You got a whole president who's like, oh, you said ceasefire? Anyway, that's not my business.
I'm gonna go mail them some more bombs.
Right. Let me just go use your money. You say you was giving more of your taxes for us to
yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
But like, it just, the problem is, and I won't go too deep in it because I believe this is something that really needs to be broken down, is y'all are putting your faith in Christians and not Jesus. Man will let you down time and time again. That's in the Bible, okay? Man will let you down. If you use man as your example of what Christ should be, now don't get me wrong, Christians are out here wilding too, because they're supposed to be Christ-like. And so that's why people aren't coming to Jesus, because they're looking at Christians and they're like,
why do I want this?
She's mean, she's nasty. If that's what she's practicing, I don't want to practice it. Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
I said, look at Jesus.
Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
I'm gonna let you down
all the time.
Today,
this very day. I'm about to hurt
your feelings. I'm not gonna start shit on this, I guess. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know, we could, but we won't.
So pivoting from Jesus,
the Savior, yes. Oh, not the eyebrow rub. Every mom knows the eyebrow rub.
Pivoting from Jesus, your vagina is never gonna smell like water.
What?
Vaginas smell like vaginas. Stop being a pick-me and telling the internet that your vagina smells like roses and love spell and whatever else you put up there that is probably causing you a yeast infection because you want him to pick you. Vaginas are always going to smell like vaginas. And I said pivot from Jesus. I'm so tired of grown women coming on the internet and being, and my vagina smells like lavender. Well, girl, your pH balance is off because it's not supposed to smell like lavender. Okay?
Shivaun, I can't breathe.
That's my grievance.
Shivaun, I can't breathe.
This has really been on my mind for some time. And I am tired of it. I am tired of y'all. First of all, y'all offer up this information unprovoked.
Nobody
want him to pick you. And girl, guess what? Your vagina can smell like lavender, and guess what? He's still gonna experience the other 6 vaginas out there that don't smell like lavender before he gets to yours. So you told him that information for what? You told the internet that information for what?
We're out here telling people what our vajayjays smell like. Like, I don't.
It'd be the pick-me's in the Twitter comments and like it's always like
this.
Yeah. Well, you know, I feel like Twitter has the same 5 discussions, right? Where $200 dates.
Oh, God. Yes, they do.
$200 dates. You have the overly clean talk, right? Where people are like, I take 6 showers a day. No, you don't.
No, you don't. And it's okay to take.
He's not gonna pick you. He's still gonna sleep with the girl who bathes every 3 days. Because men are men.
Men are men.
Men are men.
And
so, yeah.
I'm grossed out. I'm grossed out.
I did not know we were talking about vaginas today.
I did not.
I did say they should have headphones in.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Preference.
We prepped for you guys. My grievance is for any of the folks who want to tell Black people how we should deal with our trauma.
Oh my God.
Because y'all are real comfortable throwing a whitewashed MLK quote at us before you look at what the fuck we've been through.
Okay. I'm about tired. I hope Bernice, I
Oh God, please give her
want
peace.
her to body slam y'all.
And you deserve every bit of that rock bottom that you get ready to get.
I can't light drives out light or light drives out darkness. I can't do it one more time. I can't.
I almost posted this on the Black Girl Voices page, what I'm about to tell you about.
Which by now, Whitney has probably already announced because we're like, this is not one of our first episodes.
Nope.
Y'all know Whitney is a creator on the Black Girl Voices page.
I'm a creator now. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna shake the table. We're gonna shake the damn table.
So excited.
Shaking it. But
getting all uncomfortable.
My fave, I don't know if it's a personal fave of yours, but this is one of the people who I like really, really admire. LeVar Burton.
Yes.
He went on Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates Jr. And he discovered that his several great grandfather was a white man.
Oh.
And he had an emotional reaction to that. The same that all of us do.
Wow.
Because, we all understand, Black people understand that in theory. We understand in theory that there's white in us, and we understand in theory why, but it's a whole nother thing to put a face to a face and understand, like, this is the person who could have sexually assaulted my ancestor. And
I had to pause for that.
He had a hard reaction to that. This is not an ad for Finding Your Roots, but PBS. PBS. If you ever want to sponsor,
I need to be watching these though.
No,
like,
I love Finding.
Need to be watching.
I love Finding Your Roots. Look at the one with Angela Davis, where she discovered that her ancestor was on the freaking Mayflower.
Do you know she came to DC one time, and I completely missed it. Like, came to DC and came to, like, there's a restaurant that I go to. Shout out to Busboys and Poets. They're like all about like activism. They sell activist books. Like, yeah. Shout
out.
Yes. So Busboys and Poets, they have like multiple locations, and they do a lot of like this week or this coming week they're doing Week for Palestine, and so they're showing documentaries one day. They're having a poster decorating thing one day. They're having spoken word for like from a Palestinian one day. Like,
I love this.
So they do things like that. And I guess Angela Davis came one time. That was very sad.
I love her. I love her. I had a chance to meet her when I was in university. And I brought one of her books and I got her little signature, and it's been a treasure of mine ever since. I adore her. You're gonna get your chance. You're gonna get your chance. You're gonna get your chance.
If you're listening,
we adore you.
Auntie.
Thank you for your work. She just published a new book, actually.
Did she?
She just published a new book. I forget because I just saw it on Instagram. Like, I think it was Tuesday.
While you're talking, I'm gonna Google it so we can.
Yes. I think she published a new book. Anyway, LeVar Burton is talking to Henry Louis Gates about his ancestor, and some troll comes on and says it kind of seems super sideways that he's got this much of an issue having white ancestors. Like, dude, you were on the show completely constructed around saying we could get past petty things like that. There is nothing wrong with having white ancestry. And then in the clip you hear LeVar talk about he said he would have fought Henry Louis Gates if he had told him before, like, that he had white ancestry. He said, I would have fought you. But like, Black people understand what that means. Like, if you had told me that before, I would have fought you. But the guy uses that quote and he said, "Yikes, dude." And I'm like, did you not sit and think about how that white ancestry got there?
I get it though, because it's like,
they
how
never
could I center me?
They never
offended me.
Think about the story of Sally fucking Hemings, who had to live in a constructed sex room beside the bedroom of the Jeffersons. How she was
one of the most brutal slave owners.
He raped a 14-year-old over and over and over again. Not only could she not consent because of her age, she couldn't consent because she was property, not a person. And they made that into a freaking love story when it was a horror movie. And I drive this home all the time. I asked them, like, how do you think it got there? How do you think the ancestry got there? It wasn't a love story. This is not the Romeo and Juliet that you think that it is. This
Mm.
is I'm coming after your baby girl, your daughter who's probably not even old enough to even be able to consent. And I'm going to take her in the ways that I want to. And she's going to bear me children that I will own. And I will perpetuate that cycle. And I could perpetuate that cycle with those kids that
Think
she gives
about
me.
how evil you have to be to like own and brutalize your own children. Like these are your
Children.
children.
Actually, Sally Hemings was like half sister of his wife. Right. It's sick. And then
What
her brother became one of like the first chefs in the United States. But he was also property. So he trained in Paris and he had to work his way into freedom and then teach his own brother, another Hemings, the same the same things that he learned in Paris so he could be free.
we're gonna definitely make sure that this episode airs in February because this is y'all's Black History lesson because
It's gross.
yeah.
It's so bad. And they love to center themselves. They love to make themselves the hero. And they don't realize that consistently, the one thing about white supremacy, it's been consistently the villain.
Mm.
Consistently the villain. Like how
One though, that's what they're not getting. Everyone but white men. And that's what I think my beef with
yes,
white women is when they hear white supremacy, they think a Black problem. But white supremacy has you in chains too, Sister
you too,
Susie.
sis. Mm-hmm.
You too. Like it was constructed to oppress every single person who did not fall under cis white male,
Able-bodied Christian male.
able-bodied Christian
Mm-hmm.
male.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. You too.
you don't show up as cis white able-bodied Christian male.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that you have power? And that's why to this day, girl, I'm a Susan B. Anthony. Susan.
Oh, I spit on her
I'm
grave.
a hater
I spit on her
because
grave.
they love bringing up her like, oh, the pioneer of
Hooey.
feminism. Girl, she literally was actively threatened by Black men potentially having the
Mm-hmm.
right to vote.
Mm-hmm. I spit on her grave. Spit on it.
Why are
You know
we
what? That's
acknowledging her existence?
that's a post for like Women's Month too. Like
That is.
your feminist fave was a racist bitch,
I
and
love that.
you have to deal.
Yes.
You have to
You
deal.
like, baby, I'm sorry, or dear white
Let me
women,
break this
you
to
gotta
you
let go of
gently. I'm
Susan
gonna
B.
hold your
Anthony.
hand.
Please.
My mom
I
used to
don't
say
want to
that.
see her on another feminist t-shirt.
Throw her away. Throw her
Throw
away.
her away with the pink pussy hats.
Throw her away. Throw her away.
Because you know I'm a pink pussy hat hater. So
I want to burn them. I want to burn them. I want to burn
I
them.
did find Angela's book.
Yes.
It is called Abolition, Politics, Practices, and Promises. It's volume 1, it looks like. And so it's a major collection of essays and speeches from the pioneering freedom fighter.
Yeah.
So it looks like she's kind of collected all of her speeches and writings and essays and put it into one because it also, like I said, it says volume 1. But it does have some great reviews too.
I'm going to get it because I want to get that and I want to get Black Liturgies.
Yes.
Black
I love
Liturgies.
their page.
Oh my gosh. It looks so good.
I love their page.
Oh my goodness. And she sent it out. She sent out copies to like certain folks with like this, it was like a beautiful package. And I was looking at the unboxings and I'm like, this is a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
You made this spiritual. I like this. I like us.
I feel like it's so it's such a representation of Black people, right? Like when we do stuff, we do it with care, but we're also doing it with, and not, that's not to say like white people aren't doing stuff with care,
That's
okay?
not what we're saying, y'all.
No, but
We're
like
just
we
talking
do
about
it
Black
with
people.
the thought of healing in mind.
Yes.
Especially when we're sending it to other Black people. We're like, oh, how can I make this a healing experience?
Black women are very intentional. I've noticed this more so over the years. that we are very intentional about healing and healing practices. We are not gatekeepers of our healing practices. Like the NAP ministry, a blessing, just a blessing. Like hearing her, because I'm listening to her book on audiobook,
Yeah.
and it's good. It's really, really good. But she calls us into some things.
Into audiobooks. So
It
for
counts as
me,
reading. It counts as
it
reading.
no, 100% counts as
Yes.
reading, but for me it's like I'm picky about who's reading it.
Voices
Like,
matter.
yes. So I will say Dr. Brittany Cooper
Mm-hmm.
read her book Eloquent Rage
Mm-hmm.
in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to read every book on this planet.
Oh my God.
So I have very high expectations.
Yeah. I love books read by the author.
Yes, because
'Cause
they wrote it, so they have the passion and the
they know
I
what
don't
they
like
meant
yeah,
when they
I don't like
said
the
what they said.
monotone. Yeah, the cow jumps over the. I
Some
don't
of
like
them,
that.
some of them are great to read right before you go to sleep.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. Those
much.
ones you're talking about, the monotone one, yes.
Yes.
Give me a soothing blanket of words. I will wrap myself in it and don't and lull myself to sleep. My husband just takes off
You
my headphones.
I do want to pivot for a second
Yes, ma'am.
because this just happened. Was it last night or the night before? So you're telling me it's been 40 fucking years since there was
Oh,
any kind of decent black female
oh,
comedian?
I
Yeah, I know this
listen.
came out of nowhere, but for us, it didn't come
No,
out
it
of nowhere
didn't.
because we've been like,
No, it didn't.
yeah,
40
the
years.
Quinta. Let me make sure I pronounce her name. Quinta
Kimber.
Brunson
Mm-hmm.
just won. If you don't know who that is, first of all, you fucking should. But she
Google
did
it. But
Abbott
also
Elementary. She
Abbott
does so many other
Elementary.
things.
Yes.
But most famously right now known for Abbott Elementary. She just
Mm-hmm.
won, is it Best Female Comedian?
Yeah.
Award at the, is it the Emmys? I don't know. I'll be getting them mixed up. Is it the Emmys?
Yes.
Okay, at the Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
Great, amazing. However, she's the first black female comedian to win that award in 40 fucking years. So
40
you're telling me there's there's
damn.
been none.
40 damn years. Um,
I'm
I'm not gonna
so
start.
tired. Like these
I'm
awards
not
almost don't
gonna
mean shit to me
start. I'm not gonna
because,
start.
and I wanted to bring up awards because like I think as people watch them and a lot of people are watching for the gap, which I do. I am gonna post something um on the Black Girl Voices page of all of the beautiful black women's
Yes.
gowns and stuff because I love
Stunning.
watching the gowns and stuff.
And do.
But I think
Y'all dress down. Okay. Cheryl
yes,
Lee, Ralph, and that
she
tuxedo
always
mermaid.
looks good.
Listen, good. With a T
Good.
at the end. Good.
Did you? Okay. Off topic, really quick though. Did you see that post? And I listen. I am trying to release myself completely of the shackles that the shade room has because they really are trash. A lot of
Yeah.
times,
They
like
got chased off spill.
yes, they are trash. But they did a post of how the girlies are just getting better with age, right? And so they were
I
posting
didn't see that one.
Angela Bassett.
Oh my God.
The list goes on. Okay, they're posting all, and
Stunning.
I'm talking like 56, 65.
Stunning.
I was blown away. Even somebody in the comments said, I know Angela Bassett's like in her 60s, but she's been 40 since I've known her. And that's
She's been
so true
40. She's been
because
40.
even when I started watching her, I felt like she was like 40. And I still feel like she's like 40.
She's 40.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was
Never
funny
mind
because
that we're close to 40.
right. We're not talking about that
She
though.
is
Uh,
40.
so they posted Vera Wang. And somebody said, now y'all could have left.
The shade room. You are my grievance.
All these like beautiful black woman. And then they post Vera Wang and they're like,
Why would they do that?
it was supposed to, and Vera Wang's 74, and it's supposed to be women who are looking really good. Yeah. It's like
No,
women
she
who
was
are looking
74.
really good. And everybody's like,
You could have left.
we could have left her out.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, post one of them Olsen twins, the one that has her face collapsing. That's not nice, Whitney. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I
I'm
don't like
not
them.
fucking messing with you
I
anymore.
don't like them broads.
I
I'm sorry. No, because
like
like
they are one of those child stars that just like they had a big decline because they had too much like of a public upbringing, I think.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
That's
a
another conversation.
little empathy in my heart, just a little bit, but I think it's also because I'm attached
Whatever.
to their stuff.
Whatever. I do like
Okay.
their fashion. I do like the fashion. I think
Yes.
that I just I think they take themselves way too seriously.
Yeah.
And they always look shocked that there's people taking their picture.
And they
Have you
should
ever
stop
noticed?
doing coke. So they're yeah, that's the Emmys.
Shivaun, Shivaun.
Coke, vaginas. Okay, we're back to the Emmys. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so
We
sorry.
need someone to corral
I am
us.
so unserious. This is why we're
We're
gonna
still
need a
on air.
manager very quickly.
Let's do it. To like snap
Very
it back.
quick. So if you're our potential manager out here listening,
Help.
anyway, God, I don't. Okay, back to the Emmys.
The Emmys. The
So
Emmys.
I think it's also so interesting that yet again, this is the trauma of being a Black woman, right? Like, while all of the white people around us are watching it for the fashion and seeing who's getting what award, we're watching it for the this is bullshit moments. Like, oh, the first Black woman.
There was a lot of them.
Like, that is so, that takes away from the experience of getting to enjoy the award show when you're watching people who have been in the game for years and produced quality work, right? Quality artistry, and you're seeing them just now winning their first award. But then you've seen people doing mediocre bullshit for years, and they've got 3, 4, 5
Mediocre
Emmys and
nonsense.
Grammys.
And Oscars and all that.
Oh, I'm just like, didn't Angela Bassett
when
just win
Angela-
her first is it
Okay.
Oscar? What is it?
Can I vent
Please.
about that particular instance? So she received her honorary Oscar, which honorary Oscar, but they announced that she was getting an honorary Oscar immediately after they gave her Oscar, because I believe that they gave her Oscar to Jamie Lee Curtis. And shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis, because I like Jamie Lee Curtis, but we all know that Jamie Lee Curtis did not do the job that Angela Bassett did in Wakanda Forever.
No, I need you to explain this to me like I'm 5. Because how do we give away her Oscar?
They gave it to Jamie Lee Curtis because I feel like she's been, all right, it's all politics. Let's just put it out there. It's all politics. The role that she played in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
She's the hot dog finger lady. The movie's very strange, but it's cool. Like, it's a cool film. It's a really cool film, and it deserved awards. It deserved its nods. Especially for oh my gosh, the main actress. Her name. Oh my god. Anyway, it was just cool to see her, in that role at her age, and stuff like that. But Jamie Lee Curtis was in the running for the same award that Angela Bassett was. But those performances were drastically different.
Okay.
That scene where Angela's talking about, I remember they put that in the what is it called?
Clips for the nomination?
No, the commercial for the film. What is that called?
Trailer. Previews.
Yes, previews and trailers, yes. I remember they put that little snippet in there, and my eyes started watering already, and I hadn't seen the film yet. And I was like, oh, Angela's acting down, huh? Angela's acting. I lost my entire family because we had lost Chadwick. And so I'm sitting here just like, I said, she went to a place.
That was rough.
She went down deep and brought that up. I'm like, she's winning. She's winning. So we all thought she was going to win.
Yeah.
We're in grief. We're still in mourning. We're still in mourning for Queen Ramonda. And so I want all of us to just pay attention to these types of things, because this is all politics. Jamie Lee Curtis has been acting she has been acting since forever. Okay, Michael's still out there chasing her around with that mask. But Jamie Lee Curtis,
I want y'all to let go of the shackles that Michael has on y'all.
Let it go. That man is a geriatric at this point.
Fucking Michael in the senior citizen home. I am done with Michael.
Is someone just gonna I don't mean to be ageist. Is someone just gonna wheel him around to chase people with a butter knife?
At this point, honestly, Michael needs to teach an orange sugar class, because that ass got stamina.
Let it go. Okay. And so I'm watching I remember watching that moment, and I remember people made a very big deal about Angela's face when Jamie won it. But Angela didn't make a face. That's the funny thing. Angela just didn't jump out of her seat
But
to
even if
congratulate
she
her.
did, are Black women not allowed to be
No,
disappointed?
no, we are not. And I wrote a whole thing about it. I was like, we are not allowed to show even the slightest bit of disappointment. We are not allowed to call bullshit. We are not allowed to say those things because we come off as grumpy. Like a whole there you should have seen I think I posted about it. There was an entire like threads of people being disappointed and upset at the millisecond before the camera goes into Jamie's face as she accepts the award, and we don't see Angela again till later, right? Like much later in the ceremony. Um, girl, I was like, I would have left. I would have left. And
I
actually, the
am
funny thing
tired.
was, Jennifer Aniston, not Aniston, sorry, Jennifer. Who's the one who did the Hunger Games? That girl.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes.
I be mixing up last names. I'm a Black mama. I can do it. Black mamas be mixing up everybody's names with
Yep.
their
They'd
husband.
be like,
You
hey,
tell
you,
Robbie, Bobby, Jimmy, whoever that friend is.
your little friend, your little friend. And that's what they end up being called, your little friend.
Jennifer, she was up for the running. I believe it was the Critics' Choice Awards, and she mouthed to the camera. She said, "If I don't win
I
this,
don't
I'm
win, I'm
leaving."
leaving.
And everyone got to laugh
They
about
thought it
that.
was funny.
But if Issa had said that, if Quinta had
Shout out
said
to
that,
Issa. Issa, please come on the podcast.
Issa, we love
I'm
you.
gonna say that every time, but
Issa, we love you.
No, you're right. If Issa had said that, and that's my thing, like Black women
Yeah.
don't get to have emotions. Like we don't get to
No.
be disappointed. We don't get to be
No.
funny.
We
Even
don't
in
even
that
get.
moment, they would have been like, "That's not the time."
Oh, listen, they love policing us. They love policing our reactions. They love like when I tell you that moment was so short because I was watching it in real time. That moment was so short that I was watching her face and I felt the pain, and then they zoomed into Jamie. It was Jamie's moment. It's
Right.
not like Angela went and threw tomatoes on her or anything like that. All Angela did was exist, and we don't know if she would have stood up and clapped after that because we weren't
We don't
looking at her
know.
long enough.
Right.
We weren't looking at her long enough, and
We
I
don't
want
get the
us.
benefit of the doubt either.
We're gonna no, we never do. We never do. Black people in general, Black men specifically, actually,
Right.
never
Right.
get the benefit of the doubt. Black men, black boys, they're thought of as cute until they're thought of as brutes, and it's
Mm.
very disappointing to watch. It's like this adorable Black boy until he starts to get a little bass in his voice, until he starts to get a little hype, and
Girl,
he's
who
thought
you
of as a brute.
telling? A 13-year-old who is now, what am I, 5'5", so he's five, maybe like five, he might be like 5'9" now.
Oh, he's tall.
Yeah, he's
What you
really
feeding
tall.
that giant?
Child.
Everything you can.
I don't even want to get started because he's in a size like 11 and a half in men's shoes. He's getting expensive, and so honestly, I really should. Yeah, like I'm not getting the return on my investment, and so like we are considering selling him on eBay.
Oh
But
no,
anyway,
don't tell the boy.
no, but like he's got the bass in his voice. Like even sometimes when he talks, I'm like, "Hey, watch how you're talking to me," and he's like, "Well, I
Right,
didn't know
watch
what
your
you say,"
tone. And
and I'm
literally,
like,
he's just, Mom, can
"He's
you
just
pass the
talking."
peas?
Right. I'm like, please, please. But no, I tell him, and I think another reason I'm so hard on him though is because I know you sound threatening.
Mm-hmm.
I know you sound dangerous. Like, so I'm like, please watch your mouth. Please I need you to put 1,000 pleasantries before and after everything you say.
Please, because we want you to survive. And that's wild that we have to
The
navigate.
conversations are wildly different.
We have to navigate the emotions of folks so we can survive. Like, I need to
Yes,
settle
I have
in
to
on
worry
that.
about your white fragility so that I can have Black safety. Child,
Okay.
white fragility threatens Black safety.
It
Child,
does. It does.
the,
Put that
that's the thing.
Put it out. Put it out there. Write
Hey,
that one down. That's a good one.
write that down.
Regularly. Regularly. Unlike the Black fragility that someone dropped into my comments this morning, where
Oh,
girl,
what?
I'm so, look at me. I can't even have the words because I was like, this video had nothing to do with race. I'm not gonna say that. The video had everything to do with race and class and all that stuff like that. I made a video where I asked some questions. I said, if you want to know who has whose rights are respected, whose human rights are
Yes, I saw
respected.
that one. Loved it,
Mhm.
by the way.
Thank thank you. I'm gonna share it on the page. I said, if
As
you
you
want to
should.
know don't yell at me. If you want to know whose rights are respected, look at who's never had to fight for them. And when I tell you, the comment section filled up quick, but it was all in the affirmative. So people sounding
Okay.
off, from this disabled community, people sounding off from various racial
Oh, but
groups.
I love that.
I know it was like it felt like such a good moment, and then here come these white men. Well, gun owners, gun owners, gun
I
owners
should
who've
have
never had their human rights.
You're
Then
shoot
some
up
guy,
schools and I don't like it.
some guy came on and he said, "This is black fragility." I said, "Notice how I didn't say anything about black people. Why are
Mm.
you deriving that? Like, where's
Because
that
he
coming
sees your
from?"
blackness first. So there's a difference too, and people don't get this. Like, right?
Mhm.
When you're black, you see blackness first, but
Mhm.
you see it as like either like I see you and I'm affirming you and you're safe with
Mhm.
me, or
Mhm.
you see it as like I see you and I feel your pain and I empathize with you.
Mhm.
When you're white, you see the blackness first, but it's oh my God, how should I? I'm threatened, I'm fragile, I'm yes, you see it first. And I'm going to go as far as to say this, and I don't care if
Mhm.
it's controversial. Even when you claim anti-racist, you still see my color first. You
Mhm.
still see my color first.
Mhm.
I don't that's why I don't subscribe to the colorblind bullshit.
Oh no,
Because even when
no.
you refuse to see my color, you see my color
Well, first of all, it's also ableist because there's actual colorblind people who cannot actually see those things.
too.
Um, but at the same, I'm in the same boat with you. It's just like the people who you typically say color blindness, like I don't see color, are typically the people who have been accused of racism, and they
And
use it as a cover. Oh, I don't see
right.
color.
And if you've been accused
Okay.
even once, but more than once, it's time to look at you, sis,
Mhm.
or sir. You're the fucking problem.
They never seem to think of that. It's everybody else. Everybody else is the problem but me, which I need y'all to look at. And if there's any group that's pointing out and saying, hey, everybody else is the problem but me, that is a huge red flag. That
Even
is a
in
massive red
relationships,
flag.
if every single ex girlfriend tells you you're a cheater, you're a liar, and you're
Mm-hmm.
abusive,
Mm-hmm.
and
There's a
and you
common denominator.
you might need to see if you're a cheater, you're a liar, and you're
Right.
abusive.
I need to go back to that point that you were making, though, about when they see us and they see us as black. It's just like, it's interesting because when they see us, when they see each, let me start over. When they see us, they see our whole race.
Yes,
They see our whole race and every stereotype that comes with it. But when they see themselves as individuals. So
individuals.
you don't, this one person that does a crappy thing,
Writing this one down
you
too.
know what? Yes, that's a good one. So this one person is a lone wolf. But when it's us, it's a whole herd. Or as Mel Gibson says, a whole pack, because we have not forgotten Mel Gibson. We have
Mm.
not forgotten. You said a pack. Um, and that's unfair. It's like you get the privilege to be an individual. You get the privilege to be seen as an individual human being, where everyone else gets seen as an entire group. We're representing an entire group.
Mm.
Um, and that reduces our humanity, babe. That reduces our humanity.
Now, I want to say one more thing before we
Mm-hmm.
close out.
Yes, ma'am.
I this one might be a little non-popular opinion. To the commenters that are like, oh, victim mentality. Bitch,
Ah,
we are victims.
we are.
We're victims of white supremacy.
Good job. You found it out.
We are victims of all of the successes you stole from us, right? We're victims of the discrimination within the housing industry, right? When you guys deprived
Mm-hmm.
us of loans, when you
Mm-hmm.
had so much, matter of fact, discrimination going on with banking anyway, that you were literally
Say it.
stealing money from Black people. We're
Say it.
victims of the government funneling crack cocaine into
Say it.
our communities, therefore creating generations of broken homes.
Say it.
We are victims of them creating broken homes because when you see a Black male, right, and you're like, why does he have 12 baby mamas? Well, you created a broken family structure when you literally made him reprocreate with a different woman
Hello.
when you moved him around from
Hello.
plantation to plantation. Generational
Hello.
mindset goes a
Hello.
long way. Okay. We are victims of medical racism. We're victims of a whole lot of fucking shit. So
A lot of
I'm glad
things.
you see it. Hi.
Glad
Yes.
you see it. Wait, but it's
Victims.
really funny when it comes from. It's funny to call the descendants of enslaved people people who are human trafficked victims when you are the descendants of the perpetrators.
Jesus.
It is very funny to I'm glad you identified that. I'm glad that you see that we are victims, and I hope that you see that you're a perpetrator because you have in one way or another or in many ways, as you try to name call right now currently, perpetuated this system that continues to victimize Black people. I'm glad that you have realized that. Welcome. Welcome. Let's have a seat.
Welcome. You've
There
arrived.
is there is a book list and there is work to be done. Break out your notebooks.
Pick out your notebooks, but just know beyond me providing the books, if you're
Oh, I'm
not
not
paying
providing
me,
them.
I'm not doing shit else.
I'm not providing them. I am not. Listen, we are not giving free education in 2024. We
Anymore.
did so much work.
And we
We did
still do. Like
so
the stuff
much work.
you talk about on your page, I talk about on my page, we talk about on Black Girl Voices.
Hmm.
That is so much free education. Like,
Right there, right
even
there.
when we're not diving deep into like a 10 slide breakdown of something, even when we're just having regular conversations,
We're doing work.
that is still work. It's
It's
still
labor.
education.
Right. Free.
So, subscribe to Patreon.
Listen, listen. Don't be like your ancestors.
Yes, reparations. And I think people look too far into reparations. When we talk about reparations, they're like, oh, well, I don't have hundreds of dollars to pay people. Reparations is committing to continuously, monetarily support Black people, Black businesses,
Hmm.
Black organizations, Black activists whose content you consume.
Every day. And
You
share. We
should
see
be
you.
supporting, at least if you're regularly consuming content from Black educators, you should be able to show me at least one that you on a monthly basis
Support.
contribute to
Yeah.
monetarily.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can start with our Patreon.
You can. You sure can, girl.
And do you have a Substack?
Me? No. I was thinking about it.
Okay, we both
Yeah.
need we're gonna get our butts in gear because
We
we
need
both need
to.
one. We both need one. And your writing especially needs to be behind a paywall.
Thank you. It's right now it's behind Medium's paywall. And
Well,
I love Medium. I actually we'll talk offline, but I wanted
yes,
to talk to you about just regularly contributing over there. And there's ways you can start a publication over there, but that's a whole nother conversation. We're not
another
making any promises
conversation.
on this show of what we're
Yes.
saying. We give you enough here and on the Patreon that y'all can take with you
Mm,
and and learn from. Take these points and ask further questions. Not of us
yes.
though.
Or
Ask
do
further
a
questions.
little tiny bit of work.
Yeah, Google right there. She's sitting there just like, hey girl,
Right.
ready and waiting to help you, to give you the answers that you need.
And not Wikipedia, guys.
Please,
Okay? I
guys.
thought we learned this in like
Guys.
high school where
No.
like we can't go to Billy Bob basement.com to get our
No.
sources.
They don't know this.
Yes,
They
do
don't
a
know this.
.org, do a you can check like a university's website.
Those are always really reliable.
Those are always
Mhm.
go to Google Scholar. Actually, if you type in Google Scholar, it will change your like Google search or whatever to all like academic journals and articles. Yes, I know because I had to use it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So I could do my papers for because I just recently graduated,
Yeah,
y'all.
you
I
did.
finished what I
Flip that
started.
hair.
Academic journals and articles. So I highly suggest like Google Scholar and then Googling, whatever it is that you're trying to learn more about. But stop just putting it in
Stop.
Google and clicking the first thing you see.
Please stop.
Do the work. So that's your homework. Go do the work. Subscribe to the Patreon. There's different tiers, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.